Good morning, everyone. Fry remains committed to his, boycott of sleeping on the bed on camera until I return his pineapple bed. Good morning, JKD Buck. Thank you, Eris, for being you and doing all the Modly stuff. Squid Pro Quo, thank you for joining me. Fedorowski and Cool Gamer. So, we have some not so great news to start the morning, and I will forewarn you, there will be an angry, ticked off, all the cursey words video if our president this morning, and good morning, Jude and Spirit Matter. Before I get into my ranty mode, I want to welcome everyone and hope that you are having a great morning as you come in. Before I get into ranty mode, uh, look, if if the president, when he addresses this, the loss of these three service members, these heroes. Good morning, Gemini the Witch. If he mentions his son's name at any point, I will lose my ever loving mind. I will. I will lose my ever loving freaking. I will make an angry, ranty, full of curse words video. I will, honest to goodness, put a warning in it. But if he does mention his son Bo, you are forewarned, and there you are. There you have it. I have given you forewarning. If he does mention his son Bo when he talks about these heroes who were, put in the line of fire because of stupidity, I will lose my mind. For goodness and hoodness, I will lose it. So you have been forewarned. Shock, grief, and mourning for 3 Georgia-based soldiers killed in the Middle East drone strike. And I really want to honor these 3 soldiers. They have different pictures of them. It is a rare person, again, as the only military flunky in a family full of service members. I have to say, this one really strikes close to home, along with, losing a Navy SEAL member, possibly 2 in the. Oh, thank you everyone for the Shizzy raid. Thank you, Jessa Rubery and Judge Maddie. Thank you for coming over. But these were all people who joined and served and, wanted to help their country. Maybe they did it to get college money. Maybe they felt great patriotism. But either way, they lost their lives, and I think they should be honored. Described by their parents as bubbly and consistently laughing, Specialist Kennedy Sanders and Specialist Brianna Moffett became close friends after enlisting in the Army Reserve 5 years ago. Sergeant William Jerome Rivers served a tour in Iraq before joining the same company of Army engineers. The 3 citizen soldiers from different corners of Georgia all died in a weekend drone strike on a U.S. base in Jordan near the Syrian border that also wounded more than 40 others. Families of the slain reservists said they were shocked when uniformed military officers came to their doors to deliver the news Sunday. While President Joe Biden has promised the U.S. will respond, Moffat's parents said they hope there is no escalation in the violence that kills more American troops. Their daughter celebrated her 23rd birthday overseas just 9 days before she was killed. I am supremely and beyond exhausted of people in suits, and I mean you, Congress people, making decisions, dumb decisions. Why were they in Jordan? Why do we have people near Syria? Why are we still in Iraq? Why do we have people, why do we have our military as sitting ducks, but we have 30K in Germany? they're not allowed to do anything unless it goes up a chain of command, and that chain of command can never be found or never get authority to do anything. I am President, you are testing the holiness within me, and I am not a good Christian. I just hope and pray no other family has to go through this. Francine Moffett, the young soldier's mother, said Monday through tears at a dining table of her Savannah home. It takes your heart and soul. Breonna Moffett joined the Army Reserve in 2019 after graduating from high school. In addition to her military service, she worked for a home care provider, cooking, cleaning, and running errands for people with disabilities. This young woman worked doing about the same thing that I did, working with people with developmental disabilities, helping them and, keeping them in a home, but giving them some independence. So, ma'am, from the bottom of my heart, from your service at home, working with people with developmental disabilities and your service to your country, thank you so much. And to the mom, you raised a wonderful, caring daughter. And I'm so sorry for your loss. When Moffett left with fellow soldiers from the 118th Engineer Company, 926th Engineer Battalion, based at Fort Moore in August, it was her first overseas deployment. She was the oldest of 4 siblings. Every morning, Francine Moffett said her 8-year-old daughter would call her big sister to say hello while riding to school. Whenever the Moffett family called, they typically would hear from Sanders, too. Every time I'd call Breonna, I'd see Sanders just stick her head in and say, "Hey, how y'all doing?" Francine Moffett said. A native of Waycross, 100 miles or 160 kilometers southwest of Savannah, 24-year-old Sanders had volunteered for the Middle East deployment, eager to see a new part of the world, her parents said. At home, she helped coach children's soccer and basketball teams. She also worked at a pharmacy while taking college courses with the aims of becoming an X-ray technician. Lately, however, she'd considered becoming a full-time soldier on active duty once her Army Reserve contract was fulfilled. She was loved. She didn't have any enemies. All the time you saw her smiling, her father, Sean Sanders, said in an interview Monday. This was someone who was just living life, enjoying life at a young age, working toward a career. At age 46, Rivers had far more military experience than the 2 young women. The Defense Department said he joined the Army Reserve in New Jersey in 2011 and served a 9-month tour in Iraq in 2018. He joined the 718th Engineering Company at Fort Moore last year and lived in Carrollton, about 45 miles or 70 kilometers west of Atlanta. The Associated Press was unsuccessful in attempts to contact the Rivers family on Monday. Georgia Governor Brian Kemp issued a statement of mourning. The, quote, inexcusable loss of life of 3 soldiers, saying they gave the last full measure of devotion and service to this country. Army Brigadier General Todd Lazarowski, commander of the Army Reserve's 412th Theater Engineer Command, said in a statement, "They represent the best of America," and honestly, they do. Lexi, welcome. Wolfram, welcome. Greedy Bloke, welcome. Rachel Hope, I'm going to say Brenteston Engelhart. And anyone else I missed, sorry about that. And Rachel, if I messed up your name, sorry. In Sanders' hometown of Waycross, flags were lowered to half staff. Her parents said her unit first deployed to Kuwait, then Jordan, where the U.S. operates a logistics support base along the Syrian border. In her spare time while deployed, Sanders would practice jujitsu and run to keep in shape. She relaxed by knitting and calling her home almost daily, her parents said. While she occasionally mentioned drones being shot down nearby, there was no sense of imminent danger, said Onita Oliver Sanders, the reservist mother. When they last spoke the day before she was killed, Sanders said she was thinking about buying a motorcycle, much to her mother's disapproval. She'd also spoken recently of buying a home. All these different things she had plans for, were just cut short in the blink of an eye, Oliver Sanders said. I just feel like somebody like her that's so full of life, it's just unfair that she'll never get to realize those dreams she had. Well, there you go. I'm glad there's only at least one of us can get it done. That works. 1 out of 17. Um, my heart goes out to every single one of these service members' families and to the service members that had to go to the door. Not to make it about me, but Mr. Moe had to do one of these knocks on the door, and it it broke him up. It was a training accident, you know, it didn't it wasn't supposed to happen, but the soldiers that have to walk up to the door and have to deliver that to, it's incredibly hard for them. And I am I am praying that the president gives them the honor, the respect, and the dignity that they deserve because they served our country. They made the ultimate sacrifice. They, gave everything, and their families will never get them back. What I fear is that we will get, have you heard of my son, Bo? Did you hear about my son, Bo? Because I will lose my ever-loving giblet mind. I really will. So, y'all have been warned. There will be a video if that is what happens and what comes out of his mouth. Now, if he does a good job, if he honors them and, really does a good job, then I will say, good job, Mr. President. But for now, I will honor them and say thank you so much. And thank you for the families. I cannot begin to imagine your sacrifice, your pain, and your loss right now. And I hope that the community and know that the country, most of it puts just our hearts go out to you. And I'm so sorry. In other news that will make you mad about stuff. Now, I haven't seen Netflix American Nightmare, but I guess I will have to see it now. Vallejo police slammed for bungling case in Netflix American Nightmare series. Quote, how does it feel to be publicly shamed? End quote. No, he fought in the Civil War. Old line read. Did you hear my son Bo was, KIA on the beaches of Normandy? That man. Y'all, I posted my theme song on Twitter. If you guys would like to steal it, I perfectly allow you to steal that one because holy goodness, this year is testing me. The California Police Department at the center of Netflix series American Nightmare has been blasted on social media for their dubious treatment of a woman who is kidnapped and RAPED. The Vallejo Police Department and detective in charge of the Denise Huskin kidnapping case have been targeted after the documentary portrayed them as bungling cops who are more concerned with victim blaming than solving the crime. Quote, how does it feel to be publicly humiliated and shamed? Asked a commenter from Alabama. Quote, it's not fun when the shoe's on the other foot, is it? A serial rapist showed more sympathy for the victim than your police department did. Let that sink in, end quote. The series tells the story of Huskin's and then boyfriend Aaron Quinn, although I am going to call you Aaron because I'm pretty sure you've been convicted and you're Aaron. You're a gross human being, sir. On March 23rd, 2015, Huskins and Aaron were blindfolded and drugged by a man who broke into Quinn's home. Huskins was then kidnapped and taken to a cabin in Lake Tahoe where she was assaulted. Police and FBI footage obtained by Netflix, Detective Matt Mustard mercilessly grills. Oh, wait, so maybe Aaron isn't the bad guy. Grills Quinn in an interrogation room. Meanwhile, Huskins was stuffed into a trunk by a psychopath and whisked off to Lake Tahoe. Mustard, who was incredulously named Officer of the Year, neglected to even check Quinn's phone, which the kidnapper had pinged. Commenters online were most shocked at Mustard's comment to Huskins' mother, Jane Remley, after she was informed that her daughter had previously been the victim of an assault. Mustard told her that women who have been abused will often fake another assault to, quote, relive the thrill of it, end quote. Where the hell did this man come from? Sure, dude, sure. Officer of the Year, a Massachusetts woman posted, "May you be stripped of this and any title in the months to come. May your families turn on you and you live the rest of your lives in misery and lonely solitude. May Detective Mustard never have a daughter." Okay, y'all, let's not go into family stuff. Who is a victim of assault because we all know she'll be forced to suffer in silence, end quote. Eventually, Matthew Mueller, a Harvard-educated lawyer and a former soldier, was arrested and sent to prison for the crime after an officer in Lake Tahoe found a strand of Huskins' hair on a pair of blindfolded goggles in his cabin. Yeah, he has the Manson lamps, if you will. Huskins and Quinn, who eventually married, settled a lawsuit with the city of Vallejo and its police department for $2.5 million. A Yelp page belonging to the Vallejo Police Department was disabled due to, quote, unusual activity. Can you get negative star ratings? Because I think maybe they got a negative 0.27. He is protesting because I've taken away his pineapple bed, which desperately needs to be cleaned by our little, you know how some people have the little carpet clean. I have a little carpet cleaning machine, you know, for like spots, and I have that and I need to clean it. And it just needs to get done. But until such time as I bring back pineapple bed, he is protesting. I even, let him have pillow, and he is not happy. I know, I'm mean. I'm the meanest person ever, but the pineapple bed needs to be cleaned. He's been taking it to his den behind my bed, and I don't know what he puts back there, but well, that too. Yeah. Fry is like, I not yike you. I not yike you. You is mean, mommy. I have a blanket for him. It's in the wash. I'm trying to do a cleaning day, and he's like, I don't like you. You're using the vacuum cleaner. It is. Wolfram, he's like, use the force, Fry. He's like, feel the anger. Let it flow through you. Yes, he does. Now he's trying to look pathetic. He's like, look how sad I look. Everyone, she took away my pineapple bed. I have tried to find a bigger one. That's the biggest one they make of the pineapple variety. A Change.org petition called for Mustard's resignation and has garnered 2,700 signatures. Now, the obvious joke here is that it was, Mustard with the art tart, comment in the interrogation room leading to the resignation. This has clue jokes written all over it, but the man's an idiot, so You know, I'm glad that they were able to get married, and I hope that I don't understand what is wrong with the police anymore. Um, so yes, it is still illegal to kidnap a Ute, if you will, if you find him trying to steal your Kia. Now, I didn't think I'd have to say these words out loud, but yes, if you find a Ute, if you will, borrowing from my cousin Vinny, uh, trying to break into your Kia because it has a glitch, you cannot kidnap them. Two wrongs don't make a right, two rights or three rights make a left. I'm just kidding. I don't think that works. Don't follow me for directions. I have to do this when I do directions, which means you should never listen to me. I will be the leader of your Donner Party, okay? We are definitely in the wild, wild west here. Judge scolds suspects accused of holding middle schooler hostage for breaking into a Kia. 3 people in Ohio have been arrested after being accused of their own form of vigilante justice when they caught a 13-year-old boy trying to steal one of their cars, then allegedly abducted the child at Force Multiplier Point and held him for ransom. Zachary Boyd, 21, Cece Prack, 20, and a third juvenile male were arrested and charged with first-degree felony kidnapping to hold for ransom, court records reviewed by Law and Crime show. I mean, the identity of the juvenile suspect has not been released. According to court documents obtained by the Columbus Dispatch, the suspects on Thursday, January 25th, allegedly spotted the 13-year-old boy breaking into a Kia automobile owned by Prack. The car was parked out in the front of an apartment complex in Tarkton Square North, which is about 10 miles from Columbus, Ohio. The suspects reportedly all lived in the building. Boyd and the juvenile suspect reportedly went outside armed and pointed force multipliers at the boy, who was already inside the car, and then allegedly assaulted him, the police said. The two were then reportedly joined by Prack, and the trio forced the 13-year-old boy into the apartment. Prack, at approximately 5:30 a.m., took the boy's cell phone and called his father, Columbus CBS affiliate WBNS reported. She reportedly demanded that the father pay them $3,000, telling him that she caught his son inside her car and he damaged her ignition switch. Prack allegedly threatened the father, saying they would not release the boy until the ransom money was sent using the Cash App. Instead of paying the money, the father called 911 using the Cash App account where the father was supposed to send money. Look, these people are not quite, criminal geniuses. Maybe you should have asked for a Bitcoin anonymous drop. I don't know how any of that works. I don't even understand Bitcoin. Something about mining, and I don't know where the mine is. It's all magic to me, to be very honest with you. Investigators were able to track it back to an IP address. You didn't even use a VPN, y'all? Seriously? A short while later, a SWAT team with the Columbus Division of Police responded to the house and made entry, where they located the 13-year-old boy unharmed inside. All 3 suspects were subsequently arrested. Boyd and Park made their first appearances in court on Friday before Franklin County Municipal Court Judge Andrea Peoples, who reportedly appeared disturbed by the facts presented in the case. Quote, "I understand the minimal record, but we are definitely in the wild, wild west here, with people taking justice into their own hands if the facts are to be believed," she said during the hearing. According to WBNS, Peoples set bond for both Prack and Boyd at $500,000, records show. Columbus City Attorney Zach Klein said that people need to remember that vigilante justice is not something people should act on. Quote, don't take justice into your own hands. But I do think the evidence and a reflection of it's evidence and a reflection of the frustration people have, he said in a statement to WBNS. They want to be able to maintain their livelihood, and they know that might not happen if their car is stolen. Klein also noted the city's lawsuit against Hyundai and Kia for manufacturing cars that can be stolen by anyone with virtually no effort. The complaint states the city is seeking $75,000 for the strain it claims the car companies have put on the local police force. Okay, so again, if you catch someone trying to break into your Kia, also don't buy a Kia right now. Yeah, there's something about a glitch in the look, again, I'm not a technical person. I was so proud of myself. Okay, so let me do. Okay, y'all, it's a small personal victory, but I must tell you about it because, oh my goodness. So in my car, the little low pressure tire thingy came on. Now, generally, old Mo of last year would ask Mr. Mo to take care of this, but I decided that I'm going to be a more independent, more responsible millennial. Well, Mo this year. So I did it myself. I got the little air thingy. I did the little, you know, air thingamajigger that it goes up and down. And I looked at the magical sticker on my door that I didn't even know was there until Mr. Mo told me about it, that has the tire pressure numbers on it. I didn't even know. I thought you just guessed and like looked at the tire and like saw if it was blown up or not. Again, no one should put me in charge of tire stuff, but next year I will be Mario Andretti. I will be on a crew team. Pit team for me. So anyways, the light went off. I am a genius in my own mind. Anyhoozle, possibly do not kidnap people. But again, this is also a reflection of there's a documentary called The Kia Boys. These cities are letting these, I think the conservative perspective calls them these young scholars, uh, you know, continually steal these cars. And because of, you know, soft on crime or, let's be nice to juveniles or something, they continually let these guys out for doing the same thing. So people are getting tired. I mean, some people's Kias have been stolen 4 or 5 times, and people are getting a little testy because these kids, I mean, you had that 13-year-old in DC who unfortunately lost his life because he tried to carjack, an off-duty police officer. I mean, this is getting ridiculous. And it's I we are going to get back to a time of Dirty Harry. We are going to get back to a time of, Death Wish. We are going back to the early 70s. We've tried this before. We've tried this before. It doesn't work. And then the zeitgeist was the Dirty Harry, the Death Wish, because people want. I didn't know. Greedy bloke, I know you're making fun of me, but I have no idea. I'm sure there is a different one. I just use the air that I put my card in and you either vacuum or you blow air. Either suck or blow, and I push blow. And I'm kind of ticked off because honest to goodness, I mean, with the bail reform system, these people isn't kidnapping like a non-violent offense at this point? Phrasing. Oh, Old Line Red, our carjacking gangs in DC are mostly juvenile teams being run by adult, is Oliver Twist with Cars. Old Line Red, did you see, I don't remember her name, but one of the DC, I'll have to do a video on it. One of the DC councilwomen said that people are carjacking because they cannot afford cars because used cars are too expensive. So they're carjacking because they need to get groceries. I can't. Even the person that was interviewing her had to stop laughing. I think it was on The Hill. They are blaming the manufacturers. I do not remember. Look, as previously stated, I am not a carologist. I know that there's something with the ignition switch that makes Hyundai and Kias especially vulnerable to easy carjacking. I don't know what it is. I I just learned how to air up my tires, okay, y'all? And the magical stickers that has the, tire recommended balancing pressurey things. That's ask me about cross stitch, I could probably tell you. In other news, I hope they didn't leave Wilson behind. Mysterious yelling heard on island, then lobsterman finds missing men, officials say. Yells from an island off Maine's coast helped clue rescuers in on where a missing man was located. A boater was reported missing when he didn't reach out to his family or check in at about 5 p.m., according to a January 28th St. George Fire and Rescue Facebook post. The man was supposed to be checking on property damage from recent storms in his skiff, officials said. Rescuers, about 25 in total, responded and officials began planning where the area between Tennant's Harbor and Ratcliffe Island to start searching for the man, officials said. Then another report helped responders narrow down their search. Someone reported to officials they heard yelling coming from an island in the area. Rescuers then focused their efforts there, the volunteer service said. But St. George Fire and Rescue members weren't the only ones looking for the missing man. Lobstermen in the area heard chatter on the radio about the missing boater and wanted to assist in the search, officials said. A few stayed out in the area in case their help was needed, including one who officials said was in communication with the organization to figure out how he could be of service. He journeyed out to the location where the yells were reported, and soon after he found the missing man, according to St. George Fire and Rescue. Quote, "This would not have been accomplished without the help from each and every person who is involved tonight," the organization said on Facebook. Finding the boater felt like a victory for rescuers, officials said. The man is in recovery following his rescue, and the organization said it doesn't know what the future holds for our patient. In light of the situation, St. George Fire and Rescue urged others to make sure they have a plan to check in with someone while out on the water. If a boater misses a check-in time to call or message, the rescue encouraged people to make sure they report it to the authority to avoid a tragic outcome. St. George is about 80 miles northeast of Portland, Maine. So there you go. Welcome, JB. Yeah, so I'm trying to put good stories in. So now if they left Winston on the island, I will be mad. Now I'm hungry. New Orleans thief steals 7 king cakes from a bakery in a very Mardi Gras way. Because of course he did. Why not? New Orleans. With their purple, gold, and green colors and toy babies hidden inside, king cakes are staples of Mardi Gras celebrations in New Orleans. But apparently, they're also valuable enough to steal, at least this time of year during carnival season. A thief stole 7 cakes, about as many as he could carry, during a break in last week at a New Orleans bakery. The thief also stole cash and a case of vodka. He's just having a party. This is what we call an afternoon snack. Look, have you ever had the munchies? Just a joke. I have never even had any of those, so I have no idea what I'm talking about. Our king cakes are just that good, the bakery wrote on social media, but please come in and purchase one during our regular store hours. While it's a secular celebration, Carnival in New Orleans and around the world is strongly linked to Christian and Roman Catholic traditions. The season begins on January 6th and the 12th day after Christmas and continues until Mardi Gras, known as Fat Tuesday, which is the final day of feasting, drinking, and revelry before Ash Wednesday and the fasting associated with Lent. King cakes are among the foods most associated with Carnival in New Orleans. The ring of pastry are adorned with purple, green, and gold sugar or icing, and often they have a tiny plastic baby hidden inside as a prize. One wisecracker responded to the bakery's social media post with a tongue-in-cheek false admission that he was the thief. "It was me. I'm holding all 7 babies hostage until I get a lifetime supply of king cakes from you every year," the man posted. I mean, it's a I'd be more upset about the case of vodka. But look, he's going to have a tummy ache and a hangover. You know, I'd do this for Fry, even if you're mad at me, sir, and you're staging a protest. I'd do this for you. Quote, "I just wasn't willing to let him go." Woman holds onto a hood of a speeding car in viral video as as suspects steal her French bulldog. I'd do it. Good morning, Nunya Business. A viral video is circulating on social media showing a woman hanging on for dear life on a hood of a speeding car after suspects stole her French bulldog. It happened earlier this month in downtown Los Angeles. I am not shocked. Ali Zacharias told local Fox affiliate KTTV that she was eating at Whole Foods with her dog Onyx on January 18th when someone snatched the dog and took off running. Zacharias ran after the dog napper who jumped into a car. She stood in front of the car in hopes that they wouldn't go forward, but the driver lurched instead. Quote, "It's hard to have them ripped away from you. I wasn't willing to just let him go," Zacharias said. "My last resort was to stand in front of the car and tell them not to go, and they drove right into me, and it pushed me onto the hood. I wasn't just going to leave the car at that point, and I held on and they took off." Zacharias said the car was going as fast as 40 miles per hour as she held on. The driver made a turn and she fell off. There were 3 women and 1 man in their late 20s in the car, she said. A video shows Zacharias holding onto the car, a white Kia Forte, probably stolen allegedly, barreling down the street. Because of their popularity and high value, French bulldogs have been a target for theft, most notably when Lady Gaga's 3 dogs were stolen in 2021. The breed is the most stolen in the U.S., the American Kennel Club says. As for Onyx, Zacharias just wants him returned. "Oh, now you love me?" He's like, "Thank you, Mommy. I will. It's good that you would stay and get me off to if someone stole me. Please just send him back to us at this point," Zacharias, who was not seriously injured, said. "Like, we don't care about anything except getting him back. We're not looking to press charges. All we're looking is to recover our baby." He's like, "Fine, I'll sleep here." Sir, you could look much more pathetic, but that's pretty pathetic. I'll give it a 8 out of 10 in in the I am desperately put upon, look at this terrible bed my mom is making me sleep in instead of my pineapple bed. I know that French bulldogs are crazy expensive. I don't know why anyone would want to steal them, but there you go. In Hollywood news, Ryan Gosling receives an Oscar nomination for his role as Ken, and feminists everywhere are pissed as hell. The end. I mean, pretty much. Hollywood is abuzz with the news that Barbie actor Ryan Gosling, who played himbo Ken in the summer blockbuster, y'all, I watched that movie, and my drunken rant will probably be out tonight because I will probably have boozy nightly news tonight. Okay, 5-second review. What in the feminist hellhole did I watch? The absolute ridiculous, myopic, and completely misengendered, misandrous, and stupidity that I watched in that movie 2 seconds in was beyond dumb. I will get into it later. But yeah, basically, Ryan Gosling gets an Oscar nomination, Hillary Clinton most affected. What could have been a great movie about, you know, toys and fun and girls turned into a bunch of feminist propaganda stupidity. The only good thing about it was that they had, Matchbox 20 song in it. But there you go. So everyone's big mad. And this stupid, ridiculous speech of victimhood was just, I kept waiting for it to end, and it never did. Yes. Look, I'm a Matchbox 20 fan. I may or may not have had my first, sort of semi boyfriend looked a lot like Rob Thomas. I'm not saying, but I'm saying. There you go. In sports news, probably the only sport I know any moves to, triple Lutz. I know that one. My daughter always gets mad at me when I go to her diving thing because she's like, I'm like, what dive are you going to do? Are you going to do a triple sow cow or a Lutz? And she's like, Mom, those are for freaking ice. Those are for ice skating. Olympics, Russian skater Kamila Valieva is disqualified and served with a 4-year ban. The United States will likely gain new gold medals as a result of her disqualification. After nearly 2 years, the results of an investigation into Russian figure skater Kamila are complete, and she has been retroactively disqualified from the 2022 Olympic Games. The Court of Arbitration for Sport, CAS, in Switzerland has ruled that Kamila violated anti-doping rules and instituted a 4-year ban dating from December 25th, 2021. As a result, all of Camilla's results from that day forward, including the 2022 Olympic Games, have been voided. Most notably, this affects the result of the team figure skating event, which took place on February 7th, 2022. At that event, Russia, with Camilla as a member, won gold, and the U.S. won silver, Japan bronze. However, the IOC did not present the athletes with their medals because they were already questioning at the time Camilla. Then 15, she was found to have tested positive for trimetazidine, a banned heart medication, at a Russian event a few weeks before the Olympics. I don't know why that's. Let me look up what trimetazidine actually does because I don't understand why, or however, because I don't understand. Okay, so it's a medication that is used to treat heart-related conditions like angina. It helps metabolize fatty acids, which helps your body use oxygen. The drug allows for more blood flow to your heart and limits quick changes in your blood pressure. But how is that considered a... All right, let me... Do. I don't... Okay. Is a metabolic agent... It can increase blood flow efficacy and improve endurance. Okay. Well, that makes more sense. Why couldn't they just say that? Instead, they're like, because it's a blood pressure. Blah, 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 blah. Quote, having carefully considered all the evidence put before it, CAS said in a statement announcing the decision Monday, the CAS panel concluded that Miss What's-Her-Face was not able to establish on balance of probabilities and on the basis of evidence before the panel that she did not commit the violation intentionally. While her positive test was taken more than a month prior to the 2022 games, the results were not returned until February 8th, a day after the Russian team took home the gold in the figure skating event for the team. Once revealed, the controversy ensued in Beijing. When the results came back, Russian officials initially suspended her. As the Olympics carried on, she appealed that decision, won, and was allowed to continue to compete at the 2022 Games. The World Anti-Doping Agency subsequently appealed that decision to the CAS, leading to Monday's verdict. While the CAS did not take responsibility for the quote-unquote consequences of voiding Russia's team performance, the decision will likely mean that the United States will move up to the gold medal slot, Canada will move up from fourth place to bronze, and then everyone will... Now, Kamila, the unquestioned star of the Russia figure skating team, did not even medal as an individual. How exactly the athletes on the team competition will get their medals remains to be seen. The IOC handles the redistribution of medals won and lost because of post-Olympic decisions. One idea floated in the last 2 years would involve presenting the medals at a ceremony at this summer's 2024 Paris Summer Olympics. The CAS emphasized that Camilla's age, which put her in the class of protected person, did not exempt her from the regulations and disqualifications. Russia has the ability to file an appeal within 30 days. Camilla will be ineligible to compete until December 2025, roughly 2 months before the 2026 Winter Olympics are scheduled to begin in Milan, Italy. Well, there you go. So, there you are. We have Russian doping stuff, as always. Squabob, I have no idea. And I don't even know if it's real gold. And good morning, Flash Fan 85. I am fine. I hope you are doing well too. Yeah, Russia and China don't have the best, take care of athletes history. So I doubt that she was given much of a choice about whatever medication, she was given or told to take. It's not like the East German, female teams didn't look like freaking, Dolph Lundgren half the daggone time. Yeah, Lance Armstrong. And serial unaliver confesses to abducting and unaliving high schooler on spring break. Again, anyone sees this dude in their local Walmart, I am staying away from him. I personally profile people in my local Walmart. I see this dude, you know, walking down the street or walking in my local Walmart, I am like, those are a pair of Manson lamps. I am staying out of that aisle. And Eris, I hope that your migraine goes away and you can get some rest. I mean, I don't know. People that, try to start conversations with you even though you're clearly wearing earbuds. Yeah, he's got some dead stare right there. After more than 40 years, investigators say they have solved a teenager's mysterious murder by tracking down her suspect, an already convicted serial killer, and hearing his confession. Billy Mansfield Jr. abducted Carol Ann Barrett, 18, from the Treasure Island Motel in Daytona Beach at approximately 2 a.m. on March 23rd, 1980, according to the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office in Florida. The victim was found dead all the way over in Jacksonville. Authorities announced the killer is cooperating with law enforcement on other cases. Billy Mansfield continues to cooperate with detectives in other jurisdictions regarding additional cold cases, the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office said in a press release. Barrett was visiting Daytona Beach with a group of high school friends while on spring break from Zanesville, Ohio, authorities said. An unknown assailant abducted her from the motel that early morning of March 23, 1980. Investigators made a police sketch after interviewing her friends who had been in the room at the time of the kidnapping. A passerby, however, found Barrett's body in a ditch line along I-95 near Pecan Park Road in Jacksonville. Quote, following an autopsy, Carol's death was ruled as a homicide, they wrote. Tragically, the case went cold after years of work by detectives with the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office along with the original jurisdiction. The Jacksonville Sheriff's Office Cold Case Unit reopened the case in August 2017, they said. Investigators developed Billy Mansfield Jr., now 68, and then 24 at the time of Barrett's murder, as a person of interest in 2020, and ultimately... Oh, thank you for gifting a membership, and let me pull up who got that. Because I was not prepared this morning because, have you met me? I was too busy putting up my theme song. And Bobby Baloney, congratulations, and thank you, Sarah Adams. Let me put that on a doodad so I don't forget it, because January is full of the shenanigans. As per usual. Let's see. In September of 2022, after multiple interviews spanning 2 years, Billy Mansfield advised that he was in fact the suspect in the police sketch, and completed following the abduction, they wrote. He went on to confess to the abduction from the Daytona Beach Shores Hotel, as well as to her murder shortly after. He was already in California prison for murdering Renee Sailing, 29, a mother of 3, who was found strangled in a drainage ditch, not a Danish strip. I only speak one language and I still can't get that right one time. Baker speaks like 3 and he's better than me. Doggone it. Mansfield also pled guilty in Florida on 4 counts of murder in the first degree and 1 count of attempted battery of a 12-year-old or older. Hernando County investigators in 1981 dug up the defendant's family home, discovering 4 slain victims, according to the Tampa Bay Times in 2022. Teresa Carolyn Fillingham, 16, Sandra Graham, 21, Elaine Ziegler, 15, and a Jane Doe, who they did not manage to identify except to determine that she was a white woman in her 20s. Barrett is the sixth victim that investigators managed to find. Authorities decided not to pursue a criminal case in her death. Quote, following more than a quarter-century investigation into Carol's murder, it has been determined that the SAO would not seek prosecution as Billy Mansfield will remain in prison in California on one life sentence for murder, as well as 4 concurrent life sentences in Florida on murder in separate cases, the sheriff office wrote. Update, Hernando County Sheriff's spokesperson Denise Maloney told Law and Crime on January 29th, 2024, that Jane Doe's remains still are unidentified. So, unfortunately, I am very sorry that she will not get the in-court justice. Hopefully, they did talk to the family and the family was okay with this, because I can imagine that this would be a very sensitive subject if, they thought that their daughter was not getting equal justice to the other victims. And I could only imagine how cheated I would feel if he didn't get a court case. So hopefully the prosecutor's office did talk to the family, because I really feel like sometimes the prosecutor's office does not do a good job talking to these victims' family and explaining what is going on and what the law means and what they can actually do and what the charges mean. And it's maddening, because that lack of communication leads to a lot of pain and trauma. And as far as Kathy Griffin goes, I used to like her. That's the sad thing. She used to be quite funny. And I can laugh with people that don't share my politics. That's the thing. But what I don't like is when it becomes all of your jokes. When it becomes all of your jokes, Kathy Griffin sent out a Twitter or a tweeter or what have you, and she's having a hard time filling her comedy shows. Maybe it's because you told half of the country that we suck hard and we are less than human and all terrible, all the bad things. So, when you tell half of the people of a country that you could go pound sand, and then you try to get you try to do a comedy show in Iowa, it might not work out as well for you as one would expect. It's a bold move, Cotton, but we'll see how it works out for you. Okay, here's my deal with lady comedy here lately. So, lady comedy, we've got Chrissy Mayer, who's really, really good, but a lot of lady comedy, like, oh God, what's her face? Ugh, I don't like her. Ugh. Well, you've got freaking, oh, what is her name? She bothers me so much. She's got a bunch of Anyway, a lot of female comedy here lately seems to be shocking and about being promiscuous and being as raunchy as you possibly. Not Wanda Sykes. She's blonde. She had a baby. She's a little bit fluffy-ish. No, Kathleen Madigan is fun. Amy Schumer. Amy Schumer is not funny. Look, comparing your lady bits to a stinky barn animal, that is not funny. Kathleen Madigan is funny. That woman is funny. Very funny. Sarah Silverman, Amy Schumer, no. Look, there's a way to talk about things. Kathleen Madigan is hilarious. Roseanne is funny. talking about your lady bits and how they smell and how you had random all the people in your business. Look, it might sell to other people. It's not my jam, and that's what's great about comedy is that there's, you know, so many people that find look, some people find Carrot Top funny, okay? I don't know who they are, but he was very popular for a time. Somehow. So, eh, I think some lady comedians kind of go the lady lazy route and talk about very, very crass things, and it's not funny to me. But again, humor is so varied and so interesting, but it's just not what I would pick. Anyhoozle, that's my thoughts. I am going to send you guys over to Dave. He is doing, uh, what you call it? He is doing Crumbly, and that is super cereal. Look, I love everything from Gallagher to George Carlin to, Norm Macdonald. So I have a great range of things I find hilarious. I even liked Trevor Noah on some of his stand-up comedy. Now, him on The Daily Show was insufferable, but some people are simply funny in certain things. Even, oh gosh, the guy who did the dancing syringes, Stephen Colbert was funny when he was on The Daily Show because it was a bit and it was in short, you know, bursts. But him having his own nightly show, ugh. Hopefully 2024 is the year that nightly comedy shows die. I'm just figuratively YouTube. So I will be sending you guys off to the Crumbly thing. I am going to be working today on a lot of Delphi videos. There have been a flurry of motions and counter motions and stupidity. The case is becoming an absolute giant dumpster fire, and it is getting ridiculous. I did do a quite long video about going over the defense's motion or affidavit to remove Judge Gohl. If you have not listened to it, the actions that Judge Gohl has taken and then the inactions are quite alarming, and it is eye-opening the things that she has and hasn't done, and if she isn't removed, then there will be no justice, in my opinion. Oh, he's up at 4 a.m. He is up helping me dig out the news, so he is ready for a nap. But have a wonderful day. Say something kind to yourself. The world is hard enough on us. We at least should be kind to ourselves. Say something nice to someone else. You know, everyone needs a positive something in their life, and maybe just saying, "Hey, I like your shirt," might be the only kind thing that someone's heard in a while, and we can be a little bit nicer. Goodness knows this world is kind of a giant weird bingo card of crazy here lately, so we can all do at least that. It's a small thing. Have a great day, guys. I will be working on those videos. And then tonight we might have boozy news and then the Barbie review of Madness. I will talk to you guys later. Have a great day. Bye, guys.